I know, he's not my type. He's a good guy, Savannah. Hi ladies, it's your girl Anna. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, thanks for tuning in. Ladies, while you're dating, you're going to come across some men that are not your ideal type, you know. You might have a list of what you're looking for, and some men are going to cross your path who don't really measure up to that. But if you don't give them a chance, you might be losing out. You don't know who could be the right person for you, and you don't want to lose out because the right person didn't come in the right packaging. And you don't want to lessen your options because you're not allowing men who are not physically your type to date you. One sad reality is that your type might already be taken, or your ideal type does not want someone like you. You have to look at it like that. So at the end of the day, you still have to open up yourself more to other persons that might not measure up to what you're looking for physically, right? You need to level the playing field a little to ensure that you're landing the man that is right for you, not the man that looks physically right only. Now, the first way to really get over this is to forgive your eyes, okay? Believe me, you're out there looking, men are going to approach you, and of course, because you're going to be moved by what you see. Yes, some men might turn you off by how they look, but at the same time, you need to be dating with an open mind where you're open to meeting different types of people. So if a man approaches you who is not physically your type, or if it's something that you definitely can't tolerate at all, you're definitely not going to try, because it doesn't make any sense if you can't get past the physical. But if the physical aspects of the person is tolerable, then you need to allow yourself to look past that and get to know more about the person, right? Don't miss out on what could be a good opportunity of meeting someone that could turn out to be right for you. So open up yourself a little and be open-minded when dating these men. So forgiving your eyes mean, yes, this person does not look like what I typically go for, but I'm willing to look past that to get to know this person. Remember, you can't make decisions off of surface only, right? So you don't want to lead with the physical only, where you're shortchanging yourself on meeting a good man. So while you're getting to know someone, you know, there might be other things about the person that might turn you off, but don't let it be a case where you're saying, okay, this man is turning me off in all these other areas, and on top of it, he's ugly. This is a no-go for me. While some decisions like that is warranted, in other cases, you need to be more lenient and use your discretion. No one is perfect, right? So you need to be open to say, this man is going to make mistakes. Things are not going to be perfect, but I can see where this can work. I don't want to be compromising too much though, you know. This man needs to tick 1,000,001 boxes, right? But at the same time, let it not be that you lose out because the only thing that's going wrong for the person is how they look. That can't be the deciding factor. Even if it's one of the things you're looking for to decide who to be with, it should not be on the top of your list, right? There are other things. There has to be some depth and value to the person more than just the physical looks, right, ladies? Don't be foolhardy where you're only selecting men based on looks, because you might end up with an empty shell, which is what happened to a lot of men. You know, they pick women just off of looks alone, and then, you know, it turns out that this woman doesn't have any depth to her. You don't want to do that when you're selecting men. You want to be decisive, and you want to be strategic, and you want to look down the road as well. So while you're not going to lead, you know, with the physical to say he has to look a certain way, you're willing to compromise in that area. There are still other areas that you should not compromise on. And if the man is not ticking all the right boxes for you, you need to let it go. If you're in a situation where you're giving a man a chance who is not physically your type, but he's also failing in other areas, it basically means that this is a no-go. You're compromising for nothing, because there has to be some gain or benefit to why you're making that compromise, right? And ladies, when you're selecting men, you don't want to select a man that's only meeting one or two needs, right? You have a myriad of needs that a man needs to meet. So in selecting that person, while you're not leading with the physical, he has to measure up in the other areas, or it's just not going to make any sense for you. When everything else is falling apart, you're going to fail over to, at the end of the day, this man is a headache, but yet he's not even my type, and you're going to feel like you're compromising for nothing. So have a line that you're going to draw to say, okay, I'm willing to compromise in this area, but in these other areas, these are non-negotiables for me, okay? And if a man is only ticking one box for you, that's not the man for you. Bear in mind that while you are dating differently, the person can grow on you over time, right? the more you learn about a person, the more you start to grow and understand them, and you start to appreciate more things about them, right? So give yourself that time to allow the person to grow on you. And I'm saying grow on you here because the person did not naturally just attract you because you're physically not your type. So if you're faced with that situation and you're getting to know the person better, you'll start to realize that the person will naturally grow onto you. So there's a saying that opposites attract. I don't necessarily believe that, can I tell you? Because honestly, if there are too many differences, you might not gel well in a relationship, right? If you don't like the same things, you don't the reason abilities are different, the taste level is different, everything is different, that will not work. That's a recipe for disaster. So opposites don't attract. What brings relationships together is commonalities between persons. So while this man might not physically be your type, the man could be highly compatible with you in other areas, right? Where you think alike, you know, how you communicate, how you view the world. Those basic things are basically meshing and working together. And if you find yourself in a scenario like that, then it's someone you can work with, right, ladies? So if it's oil and water, it's like sandpaper. Don't force it, right? That means you're too opposite or there's not enough in common to keep you both together. So you need to ensure that the commonalities work well together, and that's a gel that will hold you both together through thick and thin. Because you need to be with a man that you can go through the highs and the lows with, right? You have to be able to bounce back from hardships and those things. It can't just be a surface level thing, and that is why I'm always saying don't just lead with the physical, where you're just both into each other physically and that's it. Because when that wears off, what is left needs to be able to sustain that relationship or later that marriage. So while not dating your type is going to feel like you're taking on an opposites attract kind of situation, that is more about personality types, right? And less about the physical. So don't lead with the physical where everything adds up physically and then personality wise there's a clash altogether. Because at the end of the day, when the physical erodes and all that sexual chemistry and energy that you're feeling towards that person dies down, eventually you're going to be left with a personality, and that needs to measure up. Another reason why I want you to look past the physical when you're dating is that there could be hidden treasures. So if you lead with the physical, you might not find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right, ladies? So don't be too hard and fast on a physical type. And if you've been dating your type over and over and it keeps failing, it could mean that your physical type has a personality trait that just does not go well with you and it's not going to work. So don't keep hitting your head against brick walls and everything. If you've dated your type over and over and you realize that all they have going for them is the physical, you need to try something new. Now, if you decide to give someone that's not your physical type a chance, you have to be shameless about it. You can't be dating that person but you want to hide when you're out in public or anything because you're so ashamed of how the person looks. If that's how you feel, you should not be dating the person, right? And while I'm telling you to compromise on your physical type, you don't want to be compromising where the person looks so bad to you that you can't even stomach how they physically look. That's not what you want. When I say compromise, it means that physically this person might not measure up to what I normally go for, but I can tolerate how this person looks. I can see myself hanging out with someone like this. If it's too extreme for you, don't do it, right? Don't just compromise across the board. Don't compromise at 100% on your physical type, right? There has to be some give and take. You can't just wholesale say, you know what, this is too far left of what I would physically go for, but let me give it a go. No, ladies. Because eventually that's going to haunt you, and you know, at some point you're going to say, boy, why have I done this? Why am I with this person? I'm not being true to myself. I'm really not feeling this person, and it doesn't matter how good they are, otherwise I'm really not feeling this person. And you don't want that to be the case, okay? There has to be some level of physical attraction for things to work. So yes, ladies, keep your options open and everything. I'm not saying that your charming prince is a frog, so you need to go around kissing all these frogs to find him and everything, but just be open to the idea that what you want might not come in the package that you typically want, and you're open to exploring that and testing the waters. So be on the lookout for that. Don't shun everyone that approaches you, but also don't entertain everybody that comes to you. So thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out another video before you go, and be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Please like this video and drop some comments below, you know, concerning dating differently. This this might be a part 1 because there are other things concerning dating differently that I want to touch on. So yes, so the physical is the first one. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.